Hi, it's Andrew Mitchum here, head trader at JAS Funds, and a report for you today being Friday the 5th of May. There is no doubt about it, we are in some very tricky market conditions right now. A lot of fundamental global events are affecting the markets and making them, in all honesty, not that easy to trade on the longer time frames. We've had things like the surprise election news coming out of Britain with the upcoming election. We've had the market having some very large gaps at the beginning of last week with the news out of France with the first round of the election, and then with this coming weekend the second round of the French election also. So we're expecting probably some large gaps, similar scenario this coming weekend. So to counteract that, we are taking very low risk per trade on all the trades we're taking. We're mindful of the fact that the market is jumping around quite a lot right now, but the important thing is we are sticking to the plan, and there's a really important longer term, bigger perspective of things, rather than worrying too much about what's happening on certain trades or within a week or so. We're definitely having that eye on that bigger, longer term scheme of things, because that's really, as an investor, what's important for you. And to show you an example of that, earlier this week we've had quite a fairly poor start to this week, with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the trades not being particularly good, a lot of them being stopped out going the wrong way, and again with the market just being all over the place. But then by sticking to the plan, keeping our risk low per trade, being highly selective on the trades we're taking, and then if the trades are nicely moving in our anticipated direction and the market's sort of doing what we're expecting, we're then getting very high reward to risk trades. So that's a great example this week, with Thursday being yesterday. We had some excellent trades which made up for all of those losses earlier in the week plus more. And that's really, the good thing about sticking to a trade and not letting emotions coming into the trading. We've also got our trading robot working right now. Now that's not performing quite as we would have liked to have seen as a startup. I had it running on a personal account for several months prior to putting it on the JAS accounts. The extensive and highly accurate back testing that we have carried out is just showing some tremendous results. But it's just my opinion that right now, with the market being the way it is, that the robot's just in a tiny bit of a lull right now, just in a bit of a quiet time. So far, the robot, since it's been implemented live, is down 1.5%. So it's not a huge amount, but it's also not the, would of course like to see it be on the positive side. It's been quite affected by the weakness in the Japanese yen, and the robot itself, what we're trying to do is blend in my own personal manual trades, which is slightly the longer term perspective, with some shorter time frame trades. And so taking smaller gains out of the market on the robot trades and my longer, bigger term picture on the daily and weekly charts. And with the weakness that we've seen in the Japanese yen, it's been quite a consistent weakness over the last week or two. And the robot, in fact, has been on the wrong side of a few trades. And in a general market, with the market sort of moving up and down nicely, we would expect to see the robot taking some gains at those times. But the weakness in the yen has just been consistent. And so the currency pairs against the yen, such as like the British pound yen, has just moved up and up and up. And the robot's looking to say, to look at sell position, a bearish position, and then ride a wave back down again, a retracement. We just haven't had those. So that's just affected it in the last week or so. But bigger picture again, massive amount of extensive backtesting data. We've got full confidence in that helping blend in between the shorter and the longer time frame. So that's where we're up to right now. We're working very hard behind the scenes to ensure that your investments are being kept very, very strictly controlled in terms of the low risk. We're closing part positions, moving stops, etc. on the bigger, longer term trades to ensure that we're locking in profit when we can, and to ensure that the accounts keep growing nicely in the correct direction. So once again, this is Andrew Mitchum, head trader at JAS Funds.